Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop, Monday, December 4th, 2023. Chief Pearl, please lead us in the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Mrs. Kraus, can you please read the statement of public notice? Mrs. Kraus, can you hear me?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, sure.
Okay, she's got it.
Mrs. Kraus, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 5th, 2023. A copy of the notice was mailed to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the township clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the township website at www.lfnj.com. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Thank you. At this time, please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel. Councilmember Murphy.
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz.
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery. Council President Scoba.
Present. Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. Before I get into a recognition of someone that's joining us here this evening, I would first like to read the proclamation recognizing World AIDS Day. And it reads, whereas December 1st is an international day dedicated to bringing awareness to the AIDS pandemic, showing support for people who are battling this disease and remembering those who lost their lives to AIDS. And whereas AIDS is a life-threatening disease caused by human immunodeficiency virus, which attacks a person's immune system. And whereas 40 years have passed since AIDS cases were first reported and HIV still threatens our world today. And whereas the United States hopes to reduce the number of new infections in the country by 90% by 2030. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Township Council, do hereby proclaim December 1st, 2023 as World AIDS Day in the Township of Little Falls. And now on to a recognition of an individual in this town who has helped this township this year receive the AAA 2023 Community Traffic Safety Gold Award for the entire Township Police Department. And an individual who helped spearhead that is joining us, and it's Corporal Pinola, and I'm going to ask him to join me up here for just a couple of seconds. So for those of you who are unaware, Corporal Pinola is one of 17 individuals this year to receive an award such as this, and it is a AAA Traffic Safety Hero Award. And it's not just for the enforcement that he does throughout town, keeping the town safe, but it's also for his proactive measures that he takes throughout town every single day to ensure that everybody remains safer here in Little Falls, such as permanent radar signs on Patterson Ave, one on Francisco Ave, one on Center Ave. He has been a huge advocate and has helped initiate our traffic safety stick program here in town to ensure that pedestrians and crosswalks are more visible, because we are encouraging individuals to not park near our crosswalks in town. He also helped with a new driver campaign at Passaic Valley. He has done traffic and transportation committee duties throughout the year, and he was absolutely critical in implementing our complaint portal for our traffic complaints here in Little Falls. And I want to thank him for everything that he has done. And I want to again recognize him for the AAA Traffic Safety Award Hero Program that was presented to him by AAA this week. Congratulations, and thank you for everything that you do. And Chief, for hanging our gold award this year, that township received.
Oh, shows you the importance here. you know, So much. For that, Chief. Right. Can I have a motion to open the meeting? Mayor, anything else you'd like to add at this point?
Unless there's any questions from the council that I can answer this evening, that's all that I have, Council President.
Okay, so Mayor and Chief, back in 2016, one of the concerns of the residents was speeding, and that concern lasted for quite a number of years. But that concern seems to be has been wiped out. That speeding issue in town has, from your staff and the endeavors of Officer Panola, we no longer get residents that are concerned about the speeders. Yes, I'm sure they are, but that has really come way down. So we appreciate your efforts, not only for those, it's really about safety. We all know anyone that's rushing to go somewhere, generally that could cause an issue of an accident or hitting someone. So thank you, Mayor.
Council President, to that point, as I indicated, Corporal Panola was instrumental in implementing our complaint portal. And not only was he instrumental in getting it up and running, but it has allowed the entire department, him specifically, to find out what the specific concerns of residents are, because they're required to leave an email address and a phone number. He can contact those individuals. He can perform specific studies that are tailored to the concerns that they're raising. And then he meets with these residents after gathering data and information to address their specific concerns and to talk about ways that they might be able to combat, whether it be speeding, whether it be another traffic related issue. And this has really been instrumental in ensuring the safety of everybody throughout town. And again, a very large reason why he got the Hero Award this year.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions, comments from the council? Seeing none, can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for general matters and agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Mrs. Kraus.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public, sorry, I lost my spot, who have joined the meeting by calling must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Mrs. Kraus. Mr. Crucian, anyone in our chat that'd like to
Nope.
come and speak?
No one would like to speak in the.
Anyone in the council chambers that'd like to come before us? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Fairly brief agenda this evening. The first item is a resolution instituting a moratorium on the issuance of Class 5 retail cannabis local licenses in the township. And as has been previously discussed here at meetings and otherwise, of course, one of the major concerns about Class 5 cannabis retail locations was the number that would be permitted within the municipality. And this specific resolution will institute a moratorium to only allow one retail location in the township, so that, again, it just currently limits the Class 5 licenses.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions, comments regarding that?
All right, the next item is a resolution supporting the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over 2023 year-end holiday crackdown. Again, this is a major police initiative that allows our roadways here in Little Falls to remain safer. We were able to receive another grant this year, and we will have, and I'll let the chief speak about the specifics of it, but we will have a number of additional officers on the road throughout the holiday season to ensure that everybody is getting where they want to go safely without the risk of drunk drivers on the road. And this will help in alleviating that issue. And Chief, do you want to talk about the specifics of this grant?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
So last year, I think we had just about 40 driving while intoxicated drivers throughout the township. This year, we're close to 60 arrests. So we're going to have throughout the month of December, another 100 hours of enforcement. So it's additional patrols. It's not overtime. It's reimbursed by the grant. So it's free enforcement from the state. We're going to take full advantage of that throughout from December 1st to January 1. So you won't know when we're out there, but I can assure you that we're going to take full use of the grant and up to the maximum 100 hours of enforcement.
Any questions or comments? Chief, do you see, seems like a generation, maybe I'm gonna use an age, maybe from 30-year-olds to 21. Uber and find ways when they go out to drink and drive. Is this still happening with individuals that still think they could beat the system or think that they're not intoxicated, or is it?
It's there's no one age, there's no one sex. It's varied on who we're arresting. There are some interesting statistics that are out there that says that typically the one person that we are arresting, that is probably either their 10th or 100th time that they've driven while intoxicated. So it's not just bad luck for that individual. It seems to be, you know, the data shows that it's a trend or a pattern on how they behave. And we're just fortunate, you know, we always say it this way, right? They need to be lucky every time that they leave the house when they're intoxicated or leaving the bar. We just need to get lucky once. And then we will find them and we will get them. But there's no, one demographic, over the other that seems to be, more susceptible to it.
Thank you, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, move on to council topics. Councilman Vanchery, lead us off.
Sure. Thanks, Council President. Just a few updates from me. Based on the last.
What's up?
Consent agenda.
Oh, okay. Let's back up. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilwoman Hablitz. Roll call on the consent agenda.
Councilmember Patel, Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery, Council President Scoba.
Yes, thank you. Councilman Vanchery.
Take two. Here we go. Based on last week's meeting, I mentioned that we had a meeting with TAPCO, myself, Ronnie Campbell from DPW, as well as Officer Panola from Little Falls Police Department. I was able to get over the weekend the estimates to add the pedestrian crosswalks. I'm going to take a look at it this week, and then I'll share my thoughts with Council President Mayor Damiano, as well as Chief Paul, and we can figure out next steps and timing because, based on the discussion we had, Officer Panola had identified a number of areas where the lighted pedestrian crossways could be utilized, of course. So more to come on that. And then this Friday, myself, members of the Little Falls Traffic Department are going to meet with the Passaic County engineers and some of their staff to look at Patterson Ave. We've gone back and forth with the county about, addressing some of the concerns that the chief and the department has with speeding. So we're looking to meet with the county this Friday afternoon over at Patterson Ave to talk about some potential options. So thanks, Chief, for, connecting with me and, making sure the department is represented on Friday. And then this week too, myself and Mayor Damiano are going to hopefully finalize the speed humps on Houston. We're in a good place, but as what is usually the case when it comes to this, everybody wants speed humps until it's in front of their house. And there's a little back and forth that needs to take place. So we're hoping to finalize that this week so we can get the ball rolling on installing the speed humps on Houston. One other thing too, I did want to mention, it's interesting when you see on social media, people complaining about things, but don't reach out to us directly because we all have email addresses. We all have cell phones, but you get 65 different engineers that are going to tell you how to do things. We did see a comment about, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Okay. We saw some concerns related to Francisco and a lot to do with the PEC bin. So we reached out to the county last week to have them sort of look into a few things. And, it's annoying for me as well because I live along the Peckman River and I just feel like we go in circles a lot with this whole thing. But, conversations need to take place with not only Passaic County and the officials from a local and state level, also with Essex County, because what you continue to see is the problems are coming upstream from another county. And yet, there's always this back and forth of who's in charge of this, who's in charge of that. So I've asked the county, I asked Commissioner Bartlett as well as Commissioner Lazara to finally set up a meeting with their administration as well as the Essex County administration, because I'm sure if they reached out to Joe DiVincenzo as well as Cedar Grove and Verona and some other townships, it'll be nice to get everybody together because we're constantly seeing the same problems when it rains. And I can tell you every time it rains, people's stress level go up 100 degrees and my phone's blowing up asking me what I think is going to happen with the Peckman River. I mean, I'm not a certified engineer and I can't tell you these certain things, but it would be nice if everybody finally got in the room, because I've been saying this for 2 years and it goes on deaf ears a lot of times, but to finally get things done, because it's a constant problem that could be fixed if everybody got in a room and did what they were supposed to do. So I'm hoping that both Commissioner Bartlett and Commissioner Lazara, take my message seriously and take some action and connect with Essex County, and we can hopefully come to a future resolution. That's it for me.
Councilman Murphy.
Thank you, Council President. First things first, I just want to congratulate Corporal Panola on the AAA award. 1 of 17 is definitely very impressive. So I just want to congratulate him and really the entire department for the work they do in keeping our streets safe and Little Falls a safe place to live. Just to kind of, I guess, go off of what Councilman Vanchery was saying on the Peckman River. A couple months ago, I met with our DPW engineer, and we went over cleaning the shoals of the Peckman River a little bit as well. And so I actually got an email last week from our engineer who has sent us the permitting needed and the applications needed in order to move forward with that cleaning of the shoals. And so I'll be reviewing that along with Council President, I'm sure, and the BA, see if we can get this into motion and see if we can come up with some timeline as well. Another quick update on the calendar. We got the preliminary draft of it last week, and I have to say it really is coming together quite nicely. I'm sure Councilwoman Hablitz could attest to that. It really does look phenomenal. So I just want to thank everybody for their help on that. I'm sure Councilman feels the same. Residents are going to be really happy when they get this calendar in the mail. And it's something that I think we could all be proud of. Unfortunately, Councilwoman Patel could not make the meeting, so she just wanted me to read a quick update on her behalf for the Health Committee. So anyone who is homebound on Medicare or uninsured and is interested in getting the flu or COVID vaccines should reach out to Councilwoman Patel. She'll be able to coordinate with the health department to have a nurse come to your home and be able to give you the vaccines in your home. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to her. She'll be able to help you out. Other than that, that's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Murphy. Councilman Hablitz.
Thank you, Council President. So just some quick library updates. First, there is a family gingerbread house decorating workshop that's going to be this Saturday, the 9th, at both 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. The library will provide the gingerbread houses, but you must register on the website and have a library card. It is one per household, but it is a great family event. They've been doing it for a couple of years now. The Office of Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and the Office of the County Clerk will be here at the Municipal Building this Wednesday, the 6th, from 12 to 2 p.m. The staff will be here to help with VA needs, Social Security questions, notary needs, Medicare questions, passports, Veterans ID, and much more. So if you need any of those things or have any questions, just stop by on Wednesday from 12 to 2. Lastly, there will be a Winter Wonderland dance for the first time this year at the library. It will be on December 16th at 5:30 with the music of Mike Lempersbeth. I'm sorry, I keep butchering that poor man's name, and the All-Star Quartet. It was a great weekend here in Little Falls, a beautiful tree lighting despite the weather. Thank you to everyone involved, the Recreation Department, the DPW, the Police Department, our Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and of course, the PV Choir and the Fire Department for making the evening festive and great despite the rain. On Saturday, the township also had its annual Peddler's Village Winter Marketplace at the Recreation Complex this year. It was great to see local vendors, some favorites from the farmers market, some crafters, and seeing our residents shop local. Lastly, don't forget to register for the Light It Up Little Falls, the holiday decorating contest that's sponsored by the farmers market. You can register at the Recreation website, and voting will take place after the 18th. So you can, voting will take place until the 18th. There will be an interactive map and signs put on the homes for everyone to see who is entered in the contest. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Hablitz. On December 18th, we will be having a public hearing, council. So that public hearing is going to start at 5:30. Please be prompt, and then we will have some food before we start our regular meeting at 7. The reorg is going to happen on January 2nd of 2024. reorg is composed of mayor appointments and council appointments. Those council appointments, I'll be reaching out to council in the following week to discuss those appointments that you currently have and those that you'd be interested in going into 2024. Mayor, we've talked about this at the last meeting and just want to reiterate about garbage on the center of town and the business zone. That in 2024, we can work out with the administration that there would be no plastic bags with garbage in that zone, and that garbage would be to the back of the buildings instead of being on the front of the buildings where animals can rip them open and people are walking by now that our streetscapes is practically complete. So hopefully in 2024, we can resolve that and have the letters and those residents and tenants notified that that will no longer be acceptable. Have a motion to open the meeting to public comment and agenda items. So moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Hablitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
those opposed? Mrs. Kraus.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Mrs. Kraus. The floor is now open. Mr. Kusia,
On in the chat, sir.
anyone in the council chambers like to come before us? Have a motion to close the public comment.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman
Second.
Vanchery, second by Councilwoman Hablitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. At this time, can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Hablitz. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, do so by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? The meeting is now adjourned.